are continuing with our enjoying the holidays here at Enjoying Your Blended Family.
There seems to be a common theme.
It is. Joy and for these few holidays.
So the first one we talked about was expectations, having real expectations. So much we put high expectations, and it sucks all the joy out of us and out of our family.
Yeah.
So we talked about having some real expectations over the holidays so that you can keep that joy in your heart.
Joy, 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 joy
Down in my heart.
Down in. Okay. Anyways, the second one we talked about like the money blues, all the money stress that comes with the holidays. And then this one that we're going to talk about today is, tell them.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? I love how you look at me and you say, you tell them.
You tell them.
I'm not going to tell them. You tell them. So today we are talking about another joy sucker that can take it from our holidays, and it's not having your kids. So being a blended family, we can battle that issue. Yeah. Oh, so we're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna give you some pointers to maybe help in these situations. So y'all stay tuned. This is gonna be a great episode.
All right. So here we are.
I just want y'all knowing that we're laughing because I tried to jump in and she was like, "No, I'm doing it first. I'm starting it."
And then we laugh, and then we're like fixing to talk about something that's so sad and serious.
It's not sad, but it is a serious topic. You know, it's one that we do face. So
I think it is sad. It's sad until you come to grips with it.
Well, that is true.
Now, and this is one that is very particular to blended families, or maybe say your kids get off and get married, and now they're older and you don't have them around for the holidays. But most specifically for blended families is having to go through the holidays and not have your kids with you. Like, it's just one of those moments. Holidays are supposed to be filled with joy and laughter and family. And when you're missing that child that you are hoping to be spending the holiday with, it just brings you some sadness and some sorrow that you really don't want to feel during the holidays. It's just
it sucks the joy out of the holiday because that is for most. I mean, that's what holidays is about: spending time with your loved ones. And whenever we are in that blended situation, if you're listening to this, everyone's nodding their head like, "Yeah, I totally get this." But you do have that. It's almost that it is a sadness that, you know, maybe they're having to spend that holiday without you. They're maybe at their other parents, or there's some other outside influences that's pulling those relationships apart for either part of the holidays or all of the holidays. So there can be so many different family dynamics. I know in our family, we definitely faced this. My biological daughter, Riley, her mother lived in another state. And so, you know, we had a few states in between us. And so it wasn't just like, hey, let me run you over to your mom's, or hey, let me come get you, or anything like that. Now you're looking at plane flights and adding all that. And then on the other side, we had our other two that they were local. And so, we had both dynamics.
A pretty good deal worked out. I say a good deal, but it also was a very stressful deal. But our kids my kids, they would go to their dad's on Christmas Eve because that's when their family celebrated, and so they would celebrate at midnight, and then the kids would come home, and then we would celebrate Christmas in the morning like you traditionally would. But I will say there were a lot of years in there that they really didn't ever come home till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I was up all night and stressing and worrying. So it called like, are they gonna make it back in time? And then several years where Riley just wasn't with us for Christmas at all because
she would go up there for the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And really, I think, you know, kind of going back to that situation we were just talking about, that's really our high expectations, because we believed on Christmas Day all of our kids needed to be here, and they needed to be here so we could celebrate. And so there was this stress of is he going to bring them back at a certain time? And so we threw in a lot of added pressure that...
And I think there was like 1 year or two right in the beginning when we were trying to figure this all out. So if you're at the beginning stages of your blended family, just know that our heart goes out to you because you're trying to figure out what is normal for you. And that's what we're going to talk more about today. But I remember like thinking, well, Christmas has to be all of us together. And so we made the kids like wait Like, I think they opened up their Santa gifts were out that morning, but all the other gifts we made them wait like 3 days. So they're just staring at presents for days.
Until they were all together. So yeah, it was just these expectations that we had. So if you missed that one, go back and listen to Real Expectations. That was the first in this holiday series. But yeah, it was. And, you know, not having them all here for all the holidays was a challenge. And then, like we were saying, my daughter, for 2 weeks she would be gone. The whole holidays, you know, she would be gone.
And you let her choose, because I know that's not usually like y'all have it in your paperwork or whatever to change out Thanksgiving and Christmas. But when Riley got to a certain age, you let her choose when and where,
and how long
she wanted to go.
Right, exactly. So started giving her more of that option and choice and stuff, age appropriate.
And I didn't really like that, to be honest. Just because I felt like Christmas was a time like when you go that many years without having everybody. But I honored what he was doing and the choice that he was giving her. But secretly, I was sulking on the inside.
Well, and it's sad as a father not having your child there too. But then I would try to put my feet into, you know, her mother's shoes, and knowing that she didn't get to see her nearly as much as I did. And so, you know, it's, you know, when you're in these blended family situations, the more you can do the give and take, the lot easier life is for everybody. And, you know, it's unfortunately, as blended families, you're just not going to have 100% of the say. You know, everyone else has those choices, and as we talk, outside influences as well. You know, that's just a part of it, and these are the things that we have to be able to deal with and walk through and figure out for us and our family and see what that looks like.
And like what you're saying, like putting yourself in their shoes, and it wasn't until, like, again, a lot of the stuff I learned because I was forced, but you having your kid for every single Christmas means that the other parent is feeling that pain that you're feeling every single Christmas. So unless you're working something out where it is beneficial and y'all are able to share that time together, that pain that you feel when they're gone, their other parent is feeling that pain as well. And it's a lot of times, especially if you are the custodial parent and you do have more time with your kids, you don't want to give up any of the time, but just thinking about the fact that the other parent has given up so much time.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not easy. That's why we're talking about this, and that's why we had to create an episode on this, because we know, you know, and did we get it right? No. You know, we still had a lot of back and forth with our ex-spouses on the matters, and it's just something we had to work through. But just know that when you do work through all of it, it's still so worth it. You're going to continue learning. You're going to continue growing. Your family is going to be blessed. So it's well worth the work and just to get to a good place. But the more that you can relate to the ex-spouse and the co-parenting, the more that y'all can communicate and see each other's side and deal with that, the easier it will be. Yeah. So I do know that it's still a challenge. I know we faced that, and we had so many blowouts, you know, before we were able to really kind of get to a place to where I felt we did decent on. The older the kids get, the easier it can become as well.
Yeah, so that's, and I think too, a lot of the sadness or the sorrow, especially in a blended family, is that there's that pressure, there's that limited amount of holidays that you're going to have with them because they're only a kid for so long. And I know I put a lot on the fact that they were growing up and I wasn't going to have that anymore. But the joy of once you get to the other part and your kids do grow up and you're still their mom, you're still their dad, you're still their step parent, like even when they're 18, 19, 20, and you're getting to enjoy all those same moments with them. It just looks different, but to me, even like a little easier and more enjoyable the older they get, right? Because I feel like it's not one-sided where you're just having to like shock factor for your kids.
Yeah, for sure.
You're all getting to contribute in on it.
And that's one thing it's easy not to see when you are parents is, you know, and I think we had that revelation not long ago, but you're going to spend more time with your kids as they're adults than you do in your house as children. And whenever you really grab that, it's like, wow, okay, okay. That is powerful to think about that, but you're going to have so much more time when they're adults to have those relationships than in that small amount of time that they're in your home. So it is, whenever you see it that way, it's like, all right, do I need to add so much pressure and stuff right now? So, and every dynamic is going to be different, so I'm not saying if there's abusive situations and things like that, you've got to take all that into consideration. There's not just one right way of doing any of this. But it is, the more that you can get along with each other, the more peace you're going to see. The more you can get along with each other, the less your child's going to be stuck in the middle of it or feel like they're stuck in the middle of it. I can tell you one thing, you and your co-parents can have complete peace, and there's still going to be a sense of them feeling in the middle. And so anytime that we can heighten that, it just makes it worse on them. So the more we communicate and the more we can agree, the easier it becomes for them. So it is one of those to where it's, you got to pick your battles. And you've got to choose, is this battle worth fighting for? And that's one of the powerful things leading into the holidays, that we have those expectations, and we try to force things and force everybody's hands to try to make it look a certain way. And that sucks that joy out. So it's really being able to do that with your kids, because you may not have your kids for the entire time of the holidays. I remember with, and we'll get to this, but we would have to like alternate, and we would have to change up things and do things a little differently. And the more we were able to do that, the easier we kind of came together.
Before we get to that, I do want to talk on the fact of, if you don't have your kids, or maybe you don't have like a set, like maybe you have yours but you don't have his, whoever it is, but someone's missing, we can fall into a trap of just sitting in that sadness, and then everybody is suffering. Like, you're suffering, and now everybody that's left in your house is suffering. The time is going to keep moving forward. It's not going to stop for you, and there's nothing you can do to change that situation. So making sure that, and I say making sure, but being intentional and like pushing past the pain that you feel right there and replacing it with the ones you do have in your house, and celebrating them. Like, taking that time, like, okay, maybe I am missing out on having my child here, but I do have this holiday with my stepkids. How can we make it special with them here in the house? And focus on what you do have inside your control, and not the things outside of your control. Because, like I said, the time's going to keep ticking. The holiday's going to come and go, and now you've just missed that opportunity.
For sure. So these are definitely issues that we face as blended families, is the holidays and not always having our kids. So that can be a big thing that can suck joy out of our lives.
I just keep picturing like the turkey sucker.
Injector?
Not the injector, but the sucker. Like it's like...
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, just sucking the juice,
joy.
all the good stuff out. Yeah, so don't let that be you. Don't be a turkey that's... No, I should just stop there. Don't be a turkey.
Don't be a turkey.
Because I was a turkey for a long time. No, so we're all turkeys. But it's one of those that's easy for us to do. It's a trap that is easy for us to fall into. So we're going to give a couple things to think about as you're approaching the holidays. And maybe you haven't heard some of this, and maybe it relates, maybe it meets you right where you are now. But these are kind of some of the things that we had to learn through the course of our time to get to a better place to where we're happy during the holidays and not sad, not sitting there, as she said, mourning, almost like a divorce. It's like everybody, hey, how are you doing today? Hey, are we going to get to do this? Okay.
Eeyore.
Yeah, we don't want to be Eeyore in any of the holidays. So number one is be flexible. This is the biggest thing we had to learn as a married couple in a blended family, is we got to be flexible. It doesn't always have to be a certain way on everything. And that was kind of a game changer for us, is whenever we said, you know what, do we have to really celebrate Christmas on Christmas Day? I mean, we're going to celebrate with who's with us, but does that mean that, maybe our kids aren't going to be with us on Christmas Day, so can we celebrate Christmas Day a week before or a week after? Changing that up a little bit, and I'm telling you, it starts taking that stress out. Thanksgiving, do we have to eat Thanksgiving meal on Thanksgiving Day? I mean, really? Is there a rule? And so whenever we get past some of these certain traditions that we're used to, but now we're starting to do things a little different. Now we can be a little bit more flexible. Maybe like, in our situation with her ex-spouse, they celebrated Christmas on Christmas Eve night. So they're opening presents at midnight. And so they're going to be excited. They're going to want to celebrate. They're going to want to take hours to open up all their stuff. So they're going to be home at super early. So do we have to wake up at 7 a.m. to open presents at our house? And it's kind of one of those. It's like, no, we don't. Maybe we can open up presents that evening and celebrate Christmas then, or and this is just using Christmas as an example.
Yeah, not getting stuck in just because you've always done things this way that it has to be that way, because it's just not that simple in a blended family. It's just not.
And one thing that we did was during Father's Day, it always fell in the summer. Well, it always falls in the summer. News alert! Sorry, spoiler alert!
Father's Day is in June.
It's in June, so it's always in the summer. There it is. Sorry, guys, if you didn't know that, But that was the time that my daughter was always at her mom's. So she would go to her mom's for a month or so, sometimes longer in the summertime. And so she was never here to celebrate Father's Day. And being a dad, as guys, normally it's not that big of a deal for us. We're like, Father's Day, I just want to sit on the couch, watch some sports or whatever, it's like whatever.
That's how he is. I don't know if all guys are like that. I'm like, no. It is Father's Day, and we will celebrate you.
We will celebrate you. You will sit in this chair with a hat on, and we will dance and sing praises to you. No.
That was a fun one time.
Yeah. So, it's one of those that we started celebrating that before she left. We would do that, or, if we didn't get a chance to do that, she would call me on Father's Day. And sometimes she didn't call me on Father's Day, and that was okay too. I got to where, it's like, whatever, it's fine. I know she loves me, and that's fine. And it was getting to a point of that and being flexible to where we could do some things a little differently. It just really relieves that pressure and that stress on us, in our house, on our kids. So it is very powerful.
And sort of along that lines, I was just thinking as well. We'll be right back. Check this out. Blended families can be hard at times, can't they? Have you ever said, I don't feel like me and my spouse are connecting? Or I'm bending over backwards and my stepkid still pushes me away? Or do you feel like your family's doing okay, but you'd like it to be more than okay? You want your family to level up, take it to an even stronger level.
The truth is, we're all looking for more joy and happiness in our lives. So how do we start seeing that in our blended family? Because really, our family is the first place we should truly be enjoying and having the most fun with. So how do you enjoy your blended family? You create more fun opportunities that your family loves doing. These are big things, they're small things that cost money, things that don't cost money. But the more fun you have together, the less blended family drama you'll have, which equals more joy and happiness for everyone. Now, you may be saying, yeah, but I don't know how to do that. I don't even know where to start. That's okay. We walk you through 5 fun dates you get to have with your family. These dates help you discover those fun things your family loves doing. You'll walk away with so many more great ideas and have an amazing, easy plan to make it happen and to keep it going. Plus, you get to have a lot of fun discovering all this in the process. We walk you through everything and make it really fun and easy.
So how do you enjoy your blended family? By going on these 5 dates and discovering fun in your stepfamily. You'll be so glad you did. Have more fun together, and you'll see less problems. The link to get started on this amazing journey is in the show notes of this episode. And what I was saying earlier, too, about enjoying what you can control. Like for us, because my kids were gone on Christmas Eve, that's, the arrangement that we had, and Riley was normally gone at her mom's on Christmas. Like, we made it our tradition that Christmas Eve, like we went to the Christmas Eve service at church, and then we would come home, and it would be like a date Christmas Eve date for us. And, we might watch a Christmas Eve movie that we would rotate like what we'd watch every year, or maybe some other fun stuff that you wouldn't normally do on Christmas
Holiday
Eve.
married couple.
Yes, married couple edition. But because normally if you have your kids at the house, you're hustling and bustling and all the stuff you would do on Christmas Eve. You don't have that opportunity. So we just tried to find whenever we could to seize those moments. Okay, it's just us. Now that wants to make me super sad, and I don't want to be super sad on Christmas Eve because I love the holidays. So what can we do instead? And so we made Christmas Eve about, Jesus first. We went and did our Christmas Eve service, but then we made it about us, and it was our time to be together. So that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. Look at what's in your power, what's in your control, and how can you make that a joyful time, even though your heart just wants for you to cry in the bottom of the shower. You can't stay in the shower, girlfriend. You gotta get up.
But that is number 2. So it's enjoying who you're with, who you can be with at that time. So maybe it's you and your spouse, maybe it's you and your spouse and some of your kids, and so it's taking those moments, and whoever's with you, y'all celebrate, and you do your thing, and you just celebrate that and be present, be there, have fun, and know that your kids that are not with you, they love you. It's not that they don't love you. That we're just in a blended family, so we have to do things a little differently.
And it releases them to have fun too. If you're on the phone, I'm sorry, baby, I miss you
so much.
You're not gonna be here. What are you gonna have presents? And I'm saying some things I might have said before. But release them to enjoy that time with their other parent. Because they do have that pressure, and if you're on the phone, you might think, well, you want them to know that you miss them, because you do, but allow yourself to be the grown-up and just be excited about it. You're fixing to have fun with your dad and stepmom. Go out there and have a good time, or with your whoever is the one talking in that instance, and it relieves so much pressure off of them too, that you're cheering them on. You want them to have a good time where they're at, not that you want them to rather be with you during this time. And
that actually makes them love you even more. That's an attractive thing as well, to where now they don't feel all that pressure from you. You've released it, and that's a cool thing, and they love that. They'll respect you for that. So that's really cool. So number 1, be flexible. Be able to be flexible, shift some holidays up if you need to, and that's fine. And then 2 is enjoy who's with you, and get over the sadness by spending that quality time with who is with you. Celebrate that, and maybe you are doing something different. Maybe you're doing your own thing. You're creating that.
Can I say number 3?
Number 3, sure.
Number 3 is to rotate.
What if I would have said no? No, you can't. You can't say number 3.
I would have elbowed you and said it anyways. Just kidding. I don't hit. I don't. Or bite. I don't know why I need to say that.
For that.
Okay. But rotate.
Thank you for not.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's a quality I do appreciate.
Okay. Thank you. I'm so glad that you appreciate that.
She doesn't hit me, y'all.
But rotate holidays, rotate between, not just with that other spouse like we're talking, or with your ex-spouse like we're talking about, but even within your family, being able to rotate who you're celebrating with. Because if you are in any kind of situation like we are, where Randall's parents are both divorced and my parents were divorced, so that's already 4 different sets of families that want to see you during the holidays and see your kids. And then you are divorced, so now your kids have 2 sets of families as well. So if you equal all that up, it's a whole lot of families. And you cannot be and I tried in the beginning.
Put them all into one box.
Man, I remember a Halloween, trying to get them all dressed, and if the Halloween was on a school day, gosh darn it, you get them dressed, and then every grandparent wants to see them, so you're driving to each of the houses and trick-or-treating at their houses, and then the night is over and you are so tired you hate Halloween because it's just extremely stressful doing all of that. So trying to hit all of the different places in one day can really be that
Yep.
sucking that
That's
joy
a
out.
lot of pressure.
So coming and figuring out, okay, well, how can we rotate through this? And if you have a lot of families like us, it might mean that you don't see, your dad's side of the family, except on every fourth year or something like that. What we try to do, which, funny story, he didn't even realize we were doing this for until a few years ago. I would be like, well, for Thanksgiving this year, what do you want to do? And he would usually choose to stay home and us have Thanksgiving here because he wants to have Thanksgiving leftovers all week.
It is the saddest thing ever to have Thanksgiving, to go to someone else's house, and then you come back home and you got no Thanksgiving. Like, you got to cook that night or something. That's so sad. It's like, I want to eat Thanksgiving all week long.
And I get that. I totally get that. So what we would do is we would rotate his year, my year. But again, he didn't realize that his year that came every other year, that he could make other choices. So for me on my
so mine was always, let's stay home.
Let's stay home. So we didn't go to his family's house for a really long time. Like, he would invite his mom over. And she
was local.
She's local, but as far as going to see his dad, he'd miss out on that because he never would choose that. And then on my year, I would rotate through my family. And so it's just one of those things of trying to figure out, okay, whose turn is it, or whatever that might look like. And it might be maybe you go to your mom's house for Thanksgiving or the week before Thanksgiving, and then go to his side, the next week or on the actual holiday. So whatever it looks like for your family. That kind of leads into the last one.
Yeah. Well, let me just stay on that. So
okay.
Yeah, definitely rotating around through family if that is your family dynamics, or maybe your dynamic is, well, let us just stay home and we invite this side of the family over for the holidays on that, and then next year we invite this side, or whatever. So it is trying to be fair. Now if you can get everybody, more people you can get in the room that get along with each other, great, more power to you. But yeah, if you do have a lot of static and things of that, then it does spread it out. And if you can rotate around some of those things, that's really cool.
And I know, even certain times, seasons in your life too, you might have, when my grandmother was getting towards the end of her life, we wanted to spend, I did anyways, wanted to spend each holiday, each Thanksgiving, Christmas with her, because I knew it was coming to be the last. Now, it probably went on for 3 years, where God rest her
20
soul.
years later.
So I know you can't do that for a long term, but just know, being flexible in that and rotating. Why are you laughing?
No, it is. It's being able to do that, and then that's there's a lot of power, and instead of trying to see everybody. Because we would do that so often. We got to go over here. Now we're rushing over here, and you're dragging the kids, and the kids all got to come over here and see them, and then you got to go see them, and you're exhausted. So it's holiday exhaustion.
And when you're exhausted, you fight more. Everybody's just on edge more. So.
It's just so much more stress. So if you can rotate around and have only one place to go, or maybe you're inviting one set of family members over, that can really relieve a lot of pressure off. So that's another good thing. And then last thing on our list, so this is number 4, but it is creating your own family culture. So, and what we mean by that is maybe you're creating your own holiday, your own things that you do in your blended family. So maybe it's not celebrating Christmas on Christmas, but you as a blended family, you always celebrate it 3 days before. We would do a thing with some of our family members, and we called it Christmas Eve.
I love Christmas. My kids, everybody, they love Christmas Eve.
And they would talk about that. And that was just a day that we got together with a certain group of family members, and we would get together and exchange gifts, eat dinner, and things of that. And that's fun, and that's just something different that you're creating as your blended family. Now that becomes y'all's thing. And so whenever you can do that with certain holidays or birthdays or, whatever, whenever you're creating things of that's out of the normal tradition, there's power in that, because now that's something that as a blended family, you and your kids, y'all look forward to that. Y'all love celebrating that. And it's something unique and special for you and your family. So yeah, being flexible, number 1. So you got to be flexible with all of this. Number 2, enjoy who you're with. Joy who you're with. Now, I don't know. There's got to be like a song.
I don't even think there was a song.
I almost heard like a song in my head. I'm a song guy. And then number 3 is being able to rotate holidays. That way you're not trying to conquer everybody in one day. And then number 3 is create your own family. Number 4.
He number 3 twice.
Number 3 twice. 3.2.
We don't really have, I'm just going to call it out. We don't really usually have notes. He's had these written down. You should have just put them right here, right there.
Yeah, now you're going to make the camera jittery.
Oh, my bad. My bad if you're watching online.
So, yeah, normally we just kind of have some bullet points and we know what we're talking about. So that's kind of what we're flowing with.
You can edit that out if you want.
Number 4 is create your own family culture. Mm-hmm. So whenever we can do that, whenever we can take time, step back, be flexible, just to don't feel like we got to fit in that holiday tradition mold that we always have, it can really relieve a lot of pressure. And when you do that, that spills over into your kids, your parenting, your family, everything. So it's really powerful. And then you look forward to the holidays. Then they're fun and they're not so stressful and so crazy. Holidays are going to be that anyways. There's always a certain amount of stress and stuff that can come with it, but the more we can take that out, the more we can sit back a little bit, the more we get to enjoy it.
Yeah, and if you haven't listened to our first episode in this little series of enjoying the holidays, and then the second one as well, go back and listen to those because it hits on some of those topics.
Some of those other joy suckers, that little... So we don't want joy suckers. We want joy plungers.
No, that's still sucking.
Well, a plunge would be like
you're like... No, we just want to, you suck it out, then you push it back.
A joy injector.
Injector.
We need joy injectors.
Yeah, like you do with the turkey. Yes.
We need joy injectors. With some of that Creole butter into the turkey. Oh my goodness, I'm getting hungry.
Yes.
Oh, I love the holidays.
Okay, here's a big serious thing before we go.
Okay.
Do you cook your turkey in the oven?
Ooh.
Or do you fry it?
Fry it.
I'm not asking you.
Oh.
What is the right way? In our family, we will unanimously say...
There's also smoking. You can smoke the turkey.
Oh, yeah, we did smoke the turkey.
You can smoke the turkey.
Smoke the turkey.
Oh. Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm inappropriate.
We've had teenagers. Sorry. And we've been teenagers.
So we usually fry the turkey. Last year we were told about the
air fryer.
Amazing... is that what it was?
Fryer,
that wasn't even smoking the turkey?
No, that's an air fryer. So yeah, I got turned on to frying a turkey and been doing that for a long time. I love a good fried turkey. So good. But then yeah, we tried an air fryer last year for Thanksgiving and it tasted just like a fried turkey and it uses no oil. It's like this convection thing. So it's like, it was so cool.
It's cheaper, guys.
It was so amazing. And you still inject the turkey and everything.
It tasted so
it was so good. So good. I am my mouth is watering for just some turkey right now. I am, oh my goodness. Okay,
you're going to have to add the link or something so that they can go and get themselves a fryer. Wait.
Oh, it's so good. So good. So good. Yeah. Well, see, you've got, I'm sure everybody has their own ways of doing things, but that's just what we like. So we just thought we'd share that little bit of nugget so that you get to know us a little bit more. Yeah. We love to fry.
I just wanted to make you hungry now.
As I am. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and end this episode because I'm going to go fry a turkey. I'm ready. It's not even Thanksgiving yet, but we're going to do it. We're going to have a pre-turkey turkey.
Nice. So, let's do it. Who says you
gobble,
can't?
Gobble. There you go.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope this episode has been a blessing and encouraged your family journey.
Make sure you stay connected with us and join our weekly Blended Family newsletter. We send an email out every Friday morning full of support and encouragement.
And when you join, we also want to give you a free gift. So go get yours today. The link is in the show notes below.
Have an amazing day. Remember to enjoy the journey with your blended family, and we'll see you on the next episode.